Hello and thanks for stopping by. Just a warning before we jump into this video. At the end of the video, at about 7 minutes in, which is where the tour of the room starts, there is a little bit of a flash between one of the pictures that I used as a transition. I'm just putting this in there in case some people are sensitive to flashes. Now back to the video. This is just a quick speed build video of a Christmassy conservatory I recently built just in time for the holidays for you and your Sims to enjoy. I decided to build this room dedicated to Winterfest in a conservatory just so that you can freely attach this room to your Sims home without having to change the layout of their home too much, and then you can easily remove this room once the holiday season is over. I don't know about you Simmers, but sometimes it takes me a while to decorate my Sims home for Winterfest, and once the day is over, I don't really want to take them down. So yeah, I just have my Sims hold on to the festive season just a little longer. I then usually pop the decorations in my Sims household inventory after they have celebrated their New Year's holiday. So with this being a conservatory, I just made a simple conservatory shape for the shell. This is quite a big conservatory compared to the other conservatories that I normally do. Usually I just build smaller ones, but I wanted to fit in the tree and the other Winterfest decorations and the other furniture, which you will see shortly. So yeah, that's why it's turned out bigger than my other ones. The size of the shell is 5 tiles across and 6 tiles up. I don't think it's too big, but it's quite big. It might be able to fit on a 20 by 15 lot, but probably at a tight squeeze. This conservatory probably fits better on the bigger size lots. But if your Sims have like a small house, it should be able to attach nicely to those homes, and it should be able to attach nicely to bigger homes as well. Or you can even, you know, if your Sims have a really big home, they can always like extend this conservatory and make it much bigger than it is now. And finally, I just chose a small wall height just to give it a nice and comfortable feel in this conservatory. Now that's the shell covered, let's move on to talking about the interior. So firstly, I painted the walls with my all-time favorite Pure Expressions paint and paired that with the Eco Lifestyle slatted wood flooring just to keep things simple and not to distract from the Christmas decorations. To enter this conservatory, I used the tall base game sliding door just to nicely fill up a lot of the blank wall space on the back wall. I placed the door in later on in the video, so you'll see that pop in towards the end. And for the windows, I used the 1000 words window from Snowy Escape pack just because I really liked the height of these windows. I wanted to do something different with the windows in this conservatory to what I normally do. Usually I use windows that cover the full wall height, but these windows only cover most of it, leaving some nice space above and below the window, kind of giving it a trim effect actually. After placing in the windows, I then added in some bookshelves that fit perfectly underneath. What would have made this look even better is if the Sims team would have added more swatches to these bookshelves, just so that I could have matched them better with the window frames. Originally, I wanted to put the small bookshelves on the 2 angled walls, but they were overlapping and didn't look right, so instead I just put in a few base game immaculate shelves in a matching swatch and placed them in between the bookshelves just to give it a smooth effect and just to make them look like they were already attached to the bookshelves. So to place the shelves in between in the corners and give that smooth effect, I simply just sized some of them down and alt placed them. You'll see that I placed on top of these bookshelves the jolly garlands just running all along the top of them. You'll see I moved the bookshelves in and out from underneath the windows just so that I could alt place them on, because when I placed them on top and when they automatically snapped, they didn't look right. I wanted the garland to look like it was one long piece that just ran smoothly all around. And then in between some of these jolly garlands, I then placed in some festive looking candles on some of the shelves and bookshelves just to give it more of an inviting and comfortable look in this conservatory from both the outside of the window and the inside. I did forget to add in a festive candle to sit on top of one of the shelves, which is to the left of the tree. So once I finished recording the build, I did pop them in, so you'll see them magically appear at the end of the video during the tour. You'll also notice I placed in some holiday crackers just as an activity for your Sims to do, and just to give them a little gift at Winterfest. And not to forget to add in the classic Christmas tree. For the tree in this conservatory, I chose the ever delightful evergreen holiday one, just to give you Simmers the chance to choose your own decorations for the tree. And also this tree gives a boost to your Sims relationships, happiness, and other things. And plus you can place a present pile under this tree compared to the others. And to finish up this side of the room, I added in the all-important attic stack decorations box, hung up some string of snowflakes for the Christmas lights on the windows, hung up some simple desert looks curtains, and I placed in some more Christmassy decor and clutter. And not to forget, I added in a small speaker sat next to the holiday cards, just so that your Sims can really get into the Christmas spirit, listening to the winter holiday music whilst decorating their tree. On the other side of the room, I placed in a sofa with a chase attached, and I just placed on this sofa a lot of cushions in 2 different swatches. The swatches I chose were to match the room in those nice, simple, bright, neutral colours, and changed the size of them just to add a bit of variation and comfort. Next to the sofa, I added clutter and the yarn basket from Nifty Knitting in case they wanted to knit any beloved Sims a gift or even just treat themselves in the holidays. To keep the room warm and comfortable, the sofa sits on a nice and neutral rug. By the door, I just added in some more Christmas decorations, some of which sat on the 2 gold hourglass end tables. A doormat I placed in front of the door, and I just hung on the walls the empty picture frames from Growing Together for those Sims who want to capture their Winterfest memories. For the finishing touches, and before I say goodbye and leave you to watch the rest of the tour, I added in the standing orb light hanging over the sofa, which I find is useful for your bookworm Sims that spend their holidays reading and relaxing on their chase, because that's what I feel the holiday season is about, just relaxing and taking time to take care of yourself. So why not give that to your Sims also? I really like this conservatory and how it looks at night with the Christmas lights on in the window and the Christmas tree lit up. It just gives this room a real festive feel. And that's it, the room is finished. I hope you and your Sims like it. If so, you can now enjoy this Christmassy conservatory over the holidays, because this room is now up on the gallery as Christmassy Conservatory under Just a Fan of the Sim, similar to the name of this channel but without the S on the end. Please do though make sure to turn on BB Move objects before placing this lot into your Sims worlds, just because if this isn't turned on, things may go missing or be misplaced. A screenshot with the gallery information will pop up at the end of this video after the tour. I hope you Simmers enjoyed this, and I hope you have a nice and relaxing holiday season, and I hope you find some time to do the things you enjoy. Take care and see you next time.